Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, February 14th, 2022. Precipitation for the past 14 days is shown here. There's really not much to talk about. It's been very dry for the first half of February. A little bit of precip in the central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming, but that's about it. New snowfall in the past 72 hours. Well, we haven't had really any. There's a little bit of a signal here in the southern Utah mountains. And then the snowpack has just been steadily decreasing over the last 6 weeks or so because due to the lack of increased snow falling. It's been very dry. Temperatures luckily have been on the cool side for a majority of that time, but we have seen some warmer temperatures recently, and that's caused the snowpack to begin to dwindle. This morning's satellite imagery is showing us a little bit of a hope. In the short term, we do finally have a storm system beginning to make its way into the Great Basin. We'll see some precipitation starting today through tonight and into tomorrow as the front drops through the Great Basin. So finally some precipitation coming to the Great Basin. Again, so for this afternoon, that low is in place over the Pacific Northwest, and the front begins to move into Idaho and Nevada later this afternoon and overnight. Ventilation rates increasing over Nevada, but staying on the lower side over Idaho and Utah today. Transport winds shown here are showing gustier winds over western Nevada and up into the higher elevations of Idaho and Wyoming. And mixing heights are also improving in the west for today. By Tuesday, that low drops south into the Great Basin, continuing to bring that precipitation in through southern and eastern portions of the Great Basin. Ventilation rates really improving by tomorrow as that low moves in. Wind speeds pick up quite a bit across southern Nevada and southern Utah tomorrow, really across much of the central Great Basin there, and mixing heights increasing area-wide as well. On Wednesday, the low moves off to the east. We could see some lingering precipitation on Wednesday in the eastern half of the Great Basin, and ventilation rates remain high. Wednesday is also another very windy day for the Great Basin behind that low, with winds out of the northwest. And mixing heights are also remaining pretty high. Forecasted clearing index for Utah for the next 3 days is shown here. Pretty low values today ahead of that low, but really improving on Tuesday and Wednesday behind the low with the increased winds and mixing heights. 3-day precip totals are shown here. Pretty good a chance of precipitation for majority of the Great Basin. Some dry spots out there. Not looking for huge totals, but definitely an increase. I mean, we'll take anything at this point. So the best chance for the heavier precip coming to the central Idaho mountains, western Wyoming, and some of the higher elevations there in northern Nevada. Utah, the bulk of the precip is going to be coming to the north. Dry conditions return by Thursday, with ventilation rates decreasing across the north and west. And continued warm and dry conditions return for the weekend area-wide. Ventilation rates decreasing once again, and that will continue into Saturday with warm and dry conditions. Sunday into Monday, we will possibly see another storm moving through. So we'll be watching the timing on this guy, but that's our next chance for a precipitation event coming to the Great Basin. Again, Sunday into Monday. And Tuesday of next week. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. The precip accumulation for Thursday into Saturday, there's really nothing. That's that kind of warm and dry period in between today and tomorrow's storm, and then another possible storm coming early next week in that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday timeframe. And the extended forecast calling for below normal temperatures as we head into the second half of February, and that's really good. We'll take that to keep our snowpack in place, and even some above normal precipitation possible over Utah and eastern Idaho, western Wyoming. So hopefully we've seen a really long dry spell, and maybe this is showing us that we'll continue to see a few storms continue to move through the Great Basin, even if they're not bringing substantial precipitation with each one. And that concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Thursday for the latest updates.